And welcome to the Inland Sports TV show. It's Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, so you know what that means. It's your favorite show. I'm Pep Fernandez. Big show. A lot going on tonight. We got Bert Esposito, the head coach of the Temecula Valley Golden Bears, in the house. It is never too early to talk high school football on this show, so we're going to continue our spring tour all the way in through summer, get you ready for the 2019 season. We're also going to break down the CIF Southern Section baseball and softball brackets. A lot of big games here in the Inland Empire, so we're going to touch on those. We're going to hear from CBU baseball. Big game tonight against Hawaii before returning to WAC play later this weekend against Utah Valley. And also, we're going to check in with Rubidoux long-distance runner Kevin Ramos. He is one of the best in the state. He is taking aim on a CIF state championship this season, so we'll hear from Kevin as well. And maybe the best news of all, I just heard from Jeff Gorham, and I don't think he would mind me sharing that he had a heart procedure today. Everything went very well. He is resting comfortably right now. So Big Jeezy, we will see you right over here very soon here on the Inland Sports Show. So I know all the prayers out there are appreciated for everyone who hit him up on social media. I know he did see them. He appreciates it, so keep him coming. He's bored. He's just laying in a bed looking at social media right now. So prayers out to you, Jeff, and a speedy recovery as well. All right, let's start with the CIF Southern Section baseball and softball playoffs. In fact, ladies first. We'll talk a little softball. The Aquinas Falcons, undefeated throughout the regular season. Look at they're all business. The Aquinas Falcons, the #1 seed in Division 4, undefeated throughout the regular season. They've got a stud sophomore pitcher, Reina Castillo, and she went a perfect, I have it right here, 22-0 in the circle this season for the Falcons. And this is a little bit of breaking news. We just found out that Arlington has defeated Palm Springs by a score of 5-3 in a wild card game. So Arlington will now head to Aquinas on Thursday in the first round of the D4 playoffs. So Aquinas, undefeated, the #1 seed in Division 4 and your Ambassador League champions. In fact, they've won League 10 of the last 11 years. One of the top softball programs in our area. And really, they have the inside track at a CIF Southern Section Division 4 championship. So as good as Aquinas is, we also got to jump to Division 1 and talk a little Norco softball, because Norco is almost unbeatable. Yes, they did drop one to Santiago a couple weeks ago in Big 8 League play, but Norco is the #1 seed in Division 1. They are the reigning Division 1 champions, and they look to repeat this year, and they look like the odds-on favorite. Norco will get a first-round bye and then host their first-round game, but we got a lot of great matchups coming up, including Vista Murrieta taking on Riverside Poly. Anthony, we have video of a home run from Michaela Jordan of Vista Murrieta. So if you're a Riverside Poly fan, you better keep an eye on this highlight, because Michaela Jordan can straight out ball. It's going to be Vista Murrieta as Jordan goes to straightaway center against Great Oak in a huge win in Southwestern League play this past week. So it's going to be Vista Murrieta on the road at Riverside Poly in Division 1 action. If you are looking for big-time Division 1 softball games, the Inland Empire has the games, they have the teams. We are a hotbed for softball. We already knew that, but a lot of our best teams are in Division 1. I don't want to leave anybody out, but you got Grand Terrace, Santiago, King, Great Oak. I could go on and on. But Vista Murrieta on the road at Riverside Poly is absolutely huge. Let's punch up the graphic. We kind of highlighted some of the games that we will be keeping an eye on as we go into the first round. We're going to be having this one covered. Yucaipa on the road at Santiago. That game is juicy. That is a huge game featuring Inland Empire schools, two of the best programs in our area. You just saw Vista Murrieta and Riverside Poly. King at Great Oak, another all Inland Empire battle. Roosevelt at Redlands. That's a sneaky good game. Roosevelt from out of the land of the Big 8. Redlands, your Citrus Belt League champion from this season. Troy at Ramona. Ramona is one of the top seeds in Division 3. And of course, now we know the winner. Arlington will play at Aquinas in Division 4. The Falcons are your #1 seed in Division 4, and they have not lost all season long. Now let's transition to baseball now, and we got our first round coming up this week, Thursday and Friday. The baseball game's kind of split between 2 different days depending on what division you play in. But let's start in Division 1 and our highest ranked team. We got some highlights of the Yucaipa Thunderbirds. Anthony, punch up those Yucaipa highlights because the T-Birds are flying high. The last time we saw them in person was, well, right there, San Manuel Stadium, as Yucaipa's Tyson Heaton whirled a perfect game against Carter High School. Yes, Yucaipa is that good. They are the CIF Southern Section champions in Division 2 from a year ago. So the T-Birds were so good. So naturally what happens? They get bumped up to Division 1. Now they're in Division 1, and they are one of the top-ranked teams in Division 1. So Yucaipa will open up the playoffs at home against Edison. So look for Yucaipa versus Edison in Division 1. We also have a graphic of some of the games in high school baseball that we're also highlighting going into the first round at least. We'll have new updated games going into the second round and the quarterfinals come next week. Man, look at Division 1. We told you about Yucaipa. Etiwanda at Corona. Corona is routinely deep in the CIF Southern Section playoffs. In fact, I remember being at Dodger Stadium when they were battling El Toro for the D1 title. I think that was 2 seasons ago now. Temescal Canyon at La Quinta. Temescal Canyon's very good. We're going to hear from them in a second in Division 2. Another all-IE battle. Citrus Hill on the road at Moreno Valley. You know, Moval, they're in Division 4 now, but the last couple of seasons, they've played for CIF Southern Section championships, and last year was Division 6 at UC Riverside. So Moval quietly, one of the best baseball programs we have in this area, playing in back-to-back CIF championship games, but now they're going to up the ante in Division 4. So they got bumped up, and they're going to take on Citrus Hill. San Jacinto against Ramona. Ramona, one of your co-champions out of the River Valley League, an all-IE battle. And maybe the Cinderella story of the entire high school baseball season in the Inland Empire, the Rancho Verde High School taking on Big Bear in Division 5. So some of the games that we will be tracking come the first round, Thursday, Friday. We'll talk more about that come next Tuesday night right here on the Inland Sports Show. As we just touched on, Temescal Canyon, your Ivy League champion this season. And Temescal Canyon, to win the Ivy League is a big deal because we're talking about Arlington, North, Riverside, Pawleys in there. Canyon Springs had a great season. Paloma Valley, that's good baseball. And Temescal Canyon came out on top. Our own senior writer, Daryl Trujillo, caught up with Temescal Canyon over the weekend once they saw the brackets come out for the playoffs. Here's a little bit of that interview with Temescal Canyon.
Inland Sports. Playing with the 14 seniors, it's nice because we all played together for the last 4 years, from freshman year up to now. So we all have that chemistry, and I hope that the young guys can feed off what we do as a program, because they can learn from us, they can look up to us and learn what we do.
So how valuable is the experience of playing postseason baseball last year as you guys looked to surpass that quarterfinal run of a year ago?
Well, we have the same exact team basically, other than 2 seniors that played a lot last year. We have the same team.
Sports.
Temescal Canyon, everybody. And let's round out our opening segment with a note from UC Riverside, and he is a former Temecula Valley star. We're talking about Big Connor Cannon. Big Country Cannon not only set a new UC Riverside career record for home runs, but he now owns the single season record as well. He already has 14 right now at the Division I level, but Connor Cannon, there he is, 32 home runs in his career, 14 this year, and he's only going to add to that total because UC Riverside still has a good month, a little bit actually longer than a month into this season, so he still has a handful of games to add to those numbers. And not only is he having a great year, but UC Riverside just took 2 out of 3 against UC Santa Barbara, and UCSB, the Gauchos, are ranked in the top 10 in the entire nation right now. So UCR playing well, and Connor Cannon, man, having a fantastic, not only season, but a career in those Highlander colors. Speaking of Temecula Valley, when we come back on the Inland Sports Show, we'll talk a little high school football. He's the old Papa Bear of the Golden Bears, the head coach of Temecula Valley, Bert Esposito, one of our dear friends of the show. We'll talk TV football when we come back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Our philosophy around here is we always talk high school football in every single show. We love Inland Empire football. We want to get as many coaches or players on the show. And tonight we're talking a little Temecula Valley Golden Bear football because this guy is really helping the Golden Bears turn things around. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't you the HS Game Time, the PE Coach of the Year this season?
Yeah.
When you went into this year, this past season, going into Temecula Valley, hasn't had a lot of success in recent years. I mean, what was your expectations for this team just taking over this program?
Well, I'd watched their films from the year before and the year before that, and I said, there's some talented kids here. For whatever reason, it just wasn't working. And so I just said, well, we're going to do what I've always done. And honestly, after looking at the talent and everything, I kept telling people, I go, oh, we'll get it done this year. And they were all going, it's going to take 2, 3, 4 years. I said, no, we'll win some games this year. I go, give me 9 months. And that's what we got. And, we made some big strides.
Well, people probably thought, for the simple fact, well, you play in the Southwestern League, you're seeing a lot of great teams just in league play, not even talking about who you might see in non-league contests. Absolutely. But the Southwestern League, we all know there's no Friday nights off.
No. And that, that's a whole different ball game, So you break the season down in the preseason, do your best there, get into the regular season and do your best there and hope you get in the playoffs and then do your best there. And, we didn't get too far ahead of these guys. The biggest problem that we had was overcoming their lack of feeling good about themselves.
Yeah.
they definitely, and it's not to blame them, but their self-esteem was not very good. So we had to get some success.
Well, even to touch on that, and that's a great point, how important was it just confidence-wise to get some early wins so these guys can look around the locker room and be like, we're not that bad. This is a pretty good team.
No, that's exactly the truth. You play with the schedule you got. So we put a lot of emphasis early on.
Yeah.
And you go into that first game, and I remember with Elsinore, and they haven't beaten them in a while, and we go in at halftime where it's 7-7, and everybody's like, uh-oh. And I said, no.
This is good.
We're not losing, That's a good thing. And then the second half, Elsinore comes down and scores. And I was like, oh, here we go. But, we put it together and tied it and then broke it free. And you could just see the confidence just start coming, And then we just kind of took it over from there.
Before we look too far ahead to next season, let's go back to this last year. Who were some of the guys? And obviously, Easton Gibbs is a big name, but who were some of the guys that just played important roles for the Golden Bears?
Well, definitely Churchward, our big receiver, 6'3" receiver. It's kind of funny. He didn't even really want to play. Didn't want to go to college. He just wanted to go somewhere and surf. That's all he wanted to do.
Which isn't so bad.
No, it's not so bad. I said, hey, can we find you a college near the coast maybe where you can.
Some compromise.
He's like, no, I'm just planning to be with my friends. And little by little, he started to get some confidence, and he was our big play threat down the field, stretch him, did a phenomenal job. Of course, we had some great players. Brody Hughes, when he wasn't hurt, was just phenomenal. Played running back, played free safety. But our all-around guy, Anson Pulsifer, the fifth one in the long line of great Pulsifer.
They're running out. I asked you about that off the air.
Yeah, and I was hoping that there'd be another one. But you talk about a family that is just done phenomenal.
Yes.
And coming to Temecula and knowing I was going to get to coach one of them, I was looking forward to it. And not disappointed whatsoever. The kid is phenomenal, just a great person, great athlete. I think he played more minutes than anybody in the county. We never took him out.
Special teams, all that?
He was our punter, kicker. He was defense, offense. If you asked him to come out, you would have to tell him to come out because he would never pull himself out. So he played the whole season at a high level. What a phenomenal kid.
Well, to piggyback off that, who are the dudes going into this upcoming season for Temecula Valley?
Well, definitely our number one recruit right now, J. Max Jacobson. He's, 6'5", 240-pound defensive end. And, he'd been chased around by a lot of schools. And when UCLA offered, he said, I'm there.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. I'm a Bruin fan, so I was excited about that. But, he's UCLA's first commit this year.
Is he really?
Yeah. So he took it, and I don't blame him. Great opportunity for him. And then, of course, Brody Hughes, he's already got like 4 or 5 offers. And Anson has his offers. Josh Hilton, our other end. We have the Twin Towers on each end. He's also got an offer or 2. And so we have like 4 offered kids, and then we have 3 that are right on the bubble. And so it'd be nice to, get those other 3 some offers and have some opportunity to play at the next level. So those are really our big guns. We got some question marks at quarterback. We'll see how, Zach Kutka was the leading candidate. He actually came in, and when Easton got hurt, he played against Great Oak, and we beat Great Oak, and he had a great game. So he's got some experience. And then we got a couple of freshman quarterbacks coming up that I think down the line are going to be pretty good. So, Logan Moreno is a backup to Brody Hughes at tailback because Brody's going to play some safety. And but having 8 returners on defense is definitely a confidence builder, especially when 4 of them are all offered, and it's
here you are, an offensive mastermind. You love to score points. You're like, man, our defense is going to be good.
Our offense will come along. We have 6 returning starters. Half our line is gone, but we got some kids coming back that are going to be pretty good. A couple receivers back that are going to be pretty good. And again, if that quarterback situation settles up offensively, we're going to be pretty good. But as my OC always tells me, just shut them out and we won't lose. And so
no problem.
So I'll be doing the defense this year.
Okay.
it's always going to be a lot easier when you have those kind of kids on that side of the ball.
Oh, for sure.
So we're excited.
What's to put you on the spot? What's your non-league look like? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, we only have 6 games. We have 6 games on the road and 4 at home. Paloma and us didn't work out, so we picked up Valley View for week 0, which used to be a great rivalry for Temecula Valley back in the day.
Okay.
And I talked to Bud Kane, and he's like, "Oh, we love those Valley View games." So I said, "All right, well, we got them." So we're opening up on the red field at Valley View.
That's right, yeah.
Yep, that'll be an interesting thing. And then, of course, Elsinore comes back to our place. Then West Valley, Norte Vista, and then San Jacinto. That's our preseason. Then we have a bye and get ready for league.
San Jacinto, that's a good one to kind of wrap up the non-league and maybe take, like you said, get a week off before you jump into the gauntlet of Southwestern League play.
You got to recover a little bit.
Yeah.
And I used to not want that week, but I think going into Southwest League, it's a huge time to recover.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of coaches have the philosophy, no, I just want to play 10 weeks straight through, and some like, no, it's good, especially to catch your breath a little bit, reset. If guys are banged up, you get an extra week. So I guess it depends what your schedule looks like, but for this year, it looks good.
And the depth you have, because you got to build some depth. And coming to Temecula, there wasn't a lot of depth, and that was, again, an issue. So it takes a couple years to get the young guys up, ready. So that week off is really going to help.
We're talking with Bert Esposito, the head football coach at Temecula Valley High School. And Coach, circling back to, all these guys, all these Golden Bears, either getting scholarships or they have the offers or the interest. You have a college showcase coming up, and I think it speaks volumes of, Temecula Valley and the Southwestern League, the kind of talent, the kind of kids you're getting down there in that area, because, colleges could go anywhere in the world, but they're coming down to your place.
And all the schools in our league.
Yeah.
I mean, the talent level is just off the charts. At my other schools, you'd go in and you'd play a team and you'd be, okay, they got some talent and, they got some players. But in this league, you've got talent, players, coaching. You can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's constant. And so the talent's all there. And so, we'll have that showcase. And we've had a lot of colleges coming through. We're excited about that. And, we have some players. And so, we got to let them get their time.
Yeah, and I hope, not to sound like an old man over here, I hope they don't take it for granted, because I've worked in different media markets all over across California. These college showcases aren't everywhere. I mean, this is a special thing.
Especially the 2-day period. It's kind of cool. You got our area down in Southwest County, Temecula, Murrieta. We're going to have, I know there's 4 schools doing it that day, and the very next day up at Corona. And so,
are there any good teams up there? Or?
Yeah, there's a few.
Players?
A few. Of course, they're all going for the showcase finale of Centennial.
Yeah.
But what a great opportunity for college coaches. They come down, see 4 high schools during the day, go have some fun that night, and then the next day do it again.
Yeah.
And you're seeing some of the best talent anywhere.
Yeah, between the Southwestern League and the Big A, I mean, if you could get some guys out of those two, if you're a college coach, you're probably going to win some football games at the college level.
Yeah.
And then the 7-on-7, it's coming back. It's July 13th. When you were at Paloma Valley, it was the biggest tournament. Now it's at Temecula Valley. It's still the biggest 7-on-7, and it's right before we actually get the pads on, and it's kind of a good precursor to kind of get the juices flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of schools are coming, and they're going to use that as their finale. Kind of come down. We got a couple teams from Fresno, Selma, and Sanger coming down. We got some Orange County teams. Santa Margarita's coming out. Bishop Amat's coming out. Crenshaw's coming out. And of course we have our local Roosevelt and Norco. They'll all be there. So it's competition is pretty stiff, and that's how we like it. So it'll be a good way to end the summer. I mean, for us it kind of begins the July period, but really that for us is like, okay, now we're getting ready to get into real football.
Some competition to kind of get it going. So do you take June off? Is that your dead period?
June's my dead period. Kids get done with school. All the college camps are in June. I'm not going to fight that.
Yeah.
Just let them go, and that's our vacation time. And weight room's always open. We're not going to let them go too far.
It's always open.
But so that's kind of how it works for us. I've been doing that for years, and everything works great that way.
Speaking of vacation time, you still got the motorcycle?
Oh yeah.
Still tearing up the road on your chopper?
Oh yeah. No, it's been great. I lead my group out of my church, and we got a ride coming up on the 11th, and we go all over Southern California. And yeah, it's almost like going into the booth. I become this other person with my leather jacket and everything. But that's my fun time. That's my fun time.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate having you on the show. It sounds like Temecula Valley set up to have another good season. So we're excited for you guys down there at the Golden Bears.
Absolutely. And of course, this year, my biggest thing is we won the academic championship.
Oh, that's right.
For Riverside County.
Yeah, we didn't mention that.
And then went into the Southern section, and we took that one too. So that was huge. That was huge. That was one of my goals coming in, that I figured we can control this.
Yeah.
And we did.
So the team GPA was, what, 3.5?
The Riverside County one, which is, I think, unweighted, was 3.55.
Okay.
And then when you go to CIF, they do a little different thing. And we were at a 3.43. And we won over, I can't remember who was second. No one remembers second.
Nobody.
But I know they were a 3.42. And then, of course, Santa Margarita was a 3.41. So
yeah, I looked at the short list. I didn't see other Inland Empire schools that high. I think you guys were on top, and then with some other Orange County and whatnot schools after
so
that.
That was huge.
Yeah, that's a big deal for Temecula Valley football.
Absolutely.
Because I know they're student athletes, so they got to get it done in the classroom in order to play. But I find like a lot of the star players have great grades anyways.
Yeah.
So
well, you win with good people.
Yeah.
So if they're good students and they're good people, if they have any athletic ability, you're going to do well.
Makes your job a lot easier. You don't have to worry about them. Are you doing your homework? Did you study? What's your GPA?
Totally.
Well, thank you, Coach. We appreciate it, and best of luck this upcoming season.
All right. Thank you very much.
We'll see you probably at the 7-on-7, July 13th at Temecula Valley. When we come back, we will update the NFL draft. A couple of local guys from the Inland Empire heard their names called at the draft. Plus, we'll also hear from Springs head football coach Darren Owens, which he says he knows you pretty well.
We're good friends back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got some stories.
I think he said he wants to throw against you guys. Did you know that?
I didn't know that yet.
He wants to throw against you.
Have him call me.
All right. So we'll talk a little Indian Springs football in our interview with Kevin Ramos, the great long-distance runner from Rubidoux High School. That's coming up on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Mattison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here from Boost Training. We have a number of different options to help athletes develop here at the BTC, whether it's our off-season strength programming or it's our general sessions and even our one-on-one training sessions with either myself or one of our coaches here. So if you need that detailed coaching, book your one-on-one session today. Please feel free to contact me directly on Instagram at Boost Training or on Twitter, Boost_Training, or contact me directly here at the gym. Our number is 951-532-4904.
On the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
And a welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show live at Val Verde High School Teen Vision TV 16. We always appreciate their hospitality. That was the great Bert Esposito joining us live here, the head coach of the Temecula Valley Golden Bears. Now, last week, we had an exclusive interview with Alexander Mattison, the pride of Cardinal City, USA, the running back for San Bernardino High School in Boise State. The week before that, we had another exclusive interview with Sione Takitaki out of Heritage High School, who played at BYU. Both of those guys have made it to the NFL. Alexander Mattison, third round to the Vikings. Takitaki, third round to the Cleveland Browns. So we're fired up for Takitaki and Mattison here on the Inland Sports Show. Here's how it sounded at the NFL draft as they both heard their names called to realize a dream of playing in the NFL. Let's check it out.
Inland Sports. With the 80th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Sione Takitaki, linebacker, BYU.
Okay, with the 102nd pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Alexander Mattison, running back, Boise State. I see you, Steph.
So congratulations to Alex and Sione, both making it to the NFL and actually picked very close, both in the third round. So that's a dream come true. We're fired up. I can't wait to see them in their first rookie mini camps with the whole uniform on. And I did see Mattison. The Vikings have already given him number 25. He has worn number 22 for a long time, but he will wear number 25 with the Minnesota Vikings. All right, speaking of the NFL, we got one of the biggest NFL stars to come from out of this area, and actually, depending who you ask, he may be the biggest name ever out of the Inland Empire to make it to the NFL. We're talking about Tyron Smith out of the Rancho Verde High School. Oh, they're hooting and hollering over here. They love Tyron Smith. He was the pride of Rancho Verde High School, and he's bringing it back home. Never forget your roots. It's this Saturday at the ranch. He's going to have his football clinic. You can see it here. Tyron Smith, youthfootballcamp.com is the website. I was in contact with head coach Pete Duffy out there with the Mustangs. We're going to get an interview with Tyron Smith. But, yeah, he might be the biggest name to come out of the IE and make it to the NFL. Arguably the best or one of the best offensive linemen in the game right now for the Dallas Cowboys. So Tyron Smith's camp coming up this Saturday, so please don't waste any time. If you want to go, you can see ages 5 to 14. Check it out, Tyron Smith, youthfootballcamp.com. All right, switching gears to high school football. You just heard Bert Esposito from Temecula Valley talking about the fact that he knows and he's got a lot of stories with Darren Owens. Coach Owens is the new head football coach at Indian Springs in San Bernardino. He has won everywhere he's gone. In fact, he won an Idaho State championship with an Idaho team that not only was winless, but they had like one offensive touchdown the previous season. So it was not a good program when he took it over. Able to turn it around. They won a state championship. He was also the head coach at King High School here in Riverside. He was the head coach at Wasco, which is up in the Bakersfield area. He's been a lot of places. He's won everywhere he's gone. Now he's looking to win at Indian Springs as well. So here is Darren Owens, the head coach of the Indian Springs Coyotes.
Inland Sports.
I think Idaho is probably, as of recent years, is probably the most historical turnaround, and something like that doesn't happen all the time. And then at Northgate in Northern California, and like you said, King, and then Wasco, all these programs, they were on major losing streaks. This program is not, and so that's what makes this even more challenging, yet also more exciting for me, is that they've been so close, and they've been one or two mistakes away from making that playoff berth. And so right now, it's our responsibility as coaches, and it's the team's responsibility to go ahead and just get it over that hump. And all that is about just being more consistent and also not letting momentum changes affect the game. Going ahead and accepting that momentum change if it goes against you, but approach it with a positive attitude and almost embrace it. And that will get you over the hump. And so we're working very hard with that. And that's usually when you go into a new program, you have to overcome some of that negativity. So we have a thing called expect to win, prepare to win, and believe. And that whole trinity is being right now, it's being taught to the athletes.
Coach Owens, a great dude. If you want even more Coach Owens, we have the long, extended, uncut interview with Coach Owens right now on IEMG TV3. If you don't have that TV channel in San Bernardino County, it's okay. Just subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel on YouTube, and you can see the complete interview with Coach Owens. So another reason to follow and subscribe IEMG is to see more with Coach Owens. And come to find out, good pals with Coach Esposito here. And finally, let's round out this segment as we kind of shift gears from football to cross country. He is one of the most decorated long-distance runners in the Inland Empire. That's Kevin Ramos from Rubidoux High School. He set a Riverside cross-country course record earlier this season, back in the fall at Rubidoux. He finished 10th in the state last year in the 3,200 meters. That's 2 miles. But this year, Kevin Ramos is very close, dangerously close, to really being at the front of the pack and bringing home a CIF state championship this upcoming season. So what were the goals going into the season for you, Kevin? Was it win CIF? Was it, place at state? What was your goals coming into this?
Well, my goal, just like last year, win state. I think if I just set my highs really high, and even if I'm close to it, I know I'll be satisfied. But it's just been winning state, just trying to be the best of the best, the most I can do.
You said you went like 9:06 last year. How low does that number have to be to win state this year? You said maybe like 8:57-ish?
Yeah, maybe 8:57. It could be lower. Because some of the people that I've raced last year are still going to be competing with me this year at least. So I know those guys are going to go off. So I'm really excited to compete with them and to just race with the best of the best.
You have to maybe improve on or get better as you go to CIF before state?
I think it'd really be just about closing for me. I always get in the last 2 laps or last lap I start getting out-kicked and outworked. So I think closing for me is going to be something I really need to work on because all those guys are top notch and I know they're gonna just start zooming through that last 2 laps. So I need to be better prepared for that.
Kevin Ramos, everybody, doing it for the dough. Hashtag Rubidoux. Best of luck to Kevin Ramos as we go now to the CIF postseason. Of course, bringing home that CIF state championship. Let's do it, Kevin. All right, when we come back here, we're going to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. We've got an update on California Baptist baseball. They're playing very well. Big game tonight against Hawaii. And also an update on CBU men's golf as the Lancers wrap up their season at the WAC Championships. We'll be back on the one and only Inland Sports TV show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here from Boost Training. Letting you know, if you haven't already, check out my new series of videos called 2 cents in 20 seconds, where I'll be talking about everything from strength training, motivation, and everything in between. You can find it on our social media platforms, on Instagram at Boost Training, on Facebook, search for Boost Training, or on Twitter, Boost_Training. Check it out.
Get better, ready to fire, and I think that's paying off. We're definitely getting better by the week. So.
Live and amplified from Team Vision TV 16 here at Val Verde. We are going inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. And before we get to CBU baseball, we're going to talk a little California Baptist men's golf. They just wrapped up their season, actually yesterday, up in Washington State at the WAC Championships. And it was a great run by the Lancers. Now, they were not eligible for the postseason. So when you get to the WAC Championships, you compete as individuals. So they don't technically keep a team score because they can't advance. They can't win the WAC Championship, but they all went as individuals, and that was a lot of fun. There's the guys right there. Lance Up, hashtag Lance Up, right? We all know that. But there's the guys up in sunny Washington State. They must have lucked out and got some great weather up there. Also some great scores. What a way to finish out for CBU. Anthony, we've got some highlights from the state of Washington. Big thanks to Mike Minyard and CBU Athletics. Mike, I think he's got another career ahead of him as a sports videographer. Great job on the greens here for the Lancers. But Dan Herron, the best finisher for the Lancers, he was at 2 over for the WAC Championships. He finishes in 6th place, not far behind him. Kingsley in 8th place. Ben Hallam, 14th place as he wraps up his college career, one of the all-time greats at CBU. CBU, again, they were not eligible for the team score, but if they would have been, they would have been in 4th place in the WAC Championship standings. But great run, some great rounds, great shots by Ben Hallam and the crew out there at CBU as they wrap up the golf season in style. Look, a little beanie action, so it was a little cold, although the sun was out up there in the state of Washington. Now we transition to CBU baseball. The Lancers just won 2 out of 3 on the road at Northern Colorado. They've got Hawaii tonight. That's non-conference. Hawaii's in the Big West. Then it's back-to-WAC play this weekend against Utah Valley. That's a great shot of one of our favorite Lancers of all time, Luke Navigato. Luke Navigato, here's this, leads the team in hits with 63, doubles with a dozen, and runs scored with 36. And then we had a chance to talk to Luke. We also had a chance to talk to Ryan Mota. Mota leads the team with 13 home runs and 39 RBI. So when you're talking about Lancers at the dish, the guys getting it done on offense, you've got to talk about Luke Navigato and you got to talk about Ryan Mota. These are two of the key cogs for CBU going forward to finish out the season strong and maybe pick up a couple more WAC wins and WAC series victories, again, beginning with Utah Valley this weekend. So let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, as we hear from Luke, Ryan, and the skipper, Gary Adcock.
You know, the games that we win, we pitch, we play defense, we situationally hit, and the games that we don't, we lack those three things. So, you know, it's been a good season thus far. We're in the middle of a little tough stretch right now, but good thing about baseball is you don't have to wait a week to play again. You're going to play real soon, and it's not for lack of effort. It's not for lack of desire, and obviously the competition is tougher, and we're learning from it. And we wanted to make a statement for us in Division I, and I think we've done that thus far, and hopefully in these last 3-4 conference series that we have left, we can finish off what we started.
I'm just trying to see the ball hit ball. You know, it just makes it simple as that. Just go up there and take each bat individually one at a time. Don't do too much with what it is. Just have fun up there, you know, just do your job, and that's all you got to do.
What kind of experience has it been for you to be a part in your senior season of this first year of Division I?
It's something special, you know. I'm grateful for experiencing Division I. You know, I'm grateful to be here at CBU. You know, it's fun, it's interesting. There's some challenges, but there's some fun moments as well. You know, and we're just coming out here and taking advantage of all of them and showing everyone that we can compete at a high level.
It's been a great time and a great opportunity for us. Growing up, you always want to be a Division I baseball player, so coming out here and proving ourselves and showing ourselves that we can play here has been big and exciting for us.
Luke, for you, you've been a big part of this program for a little while now, and this being your senior season to be a part of this, does that make it any extra special?
Of course. I mean, coming here as a freshman and just going through the trials and tribulations here, and finally being a senior, being a leader on this team, it's been really special for me and something I cherish.
What's going right for you at the plate right now?
Right for me at the plate, I just go up there with confidence, stick to the plan that the coaches give to me, and just try to compete and do what I can to help this team win.
You missed a small handful of games. How good has it felt to be back?
Yeah, you take for granted the games that you play, especially when you get hurt. So it's been wonderful back on the field, back on with my teammates. So it's been awesome.
Luke, thanks so much.
Yep, thank you.
Luke Navigato, Ryan Mota, and the skipper, Gary Adcock, as we go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. A couple other notes before we wrap things up here. RCC Baseball, big Friday coming up as they open up the postseason, both baseball and softball at home on Friday at RCC. And listen, if you haven't followed us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's another reason to do so. Redlands High School Baseball just hit me up, and we appreciate it. We love the Terriers, that long blue line. And they just tweeted out during the show, hey, don't forget, Redlands Baseball at home on Thursday against Pacifica of Garden Grove. First pitch, 3:15. Let's pack the house out there at RHS. So thanks to Redlands for following and also hitting us up during the show. Live shout out to the Terriers right here on the Inland Sports TV show. The Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, it's coming up. I think we've got the graphic. It's coming up in a couple Mondays, May 13th, so it is creeping up on us. We're going to plug this thing till the very end. In fact, we might even try to get Jerry Hurley, the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame president, on the show next week because it is coming up. Make sure you check it out. RiversideSportHallOfFame.com is the website. You can get your tickets there. year, whether it's individual tickets, you want the whole table, sponsorship, they will not turn anybody away. We want to pack the house and recognize some of the biggest names in the city of Riverside sports history. That's coming up on May 13th. And maybe the biggest news of all, in this tweet just coming down 5 minutes ago, he might be watching the show live right now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the big Jeezy. Jeff Gorham laying in his hospital bed. He had his heart procedure today. Everything went great. Jeff, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing all this. He tweeted it out, so that's public, right? It's all public now. Jeff did great today at the hospital for his heart, and he will be back up here very, very soon. So again, thanks to everyone out there who sent their thoughts and more so their prayers as Jeff made it through. God is good, right? And he pulled through today, and he's in good spirits too. In fact, I'm going to try to take him dinner tonight if he'll let me. He can't eat, but his family can, right? So awesome to see that you're doing well, Jeff, and we'll see you up here on the desk very, very soon. For Anthony Trujillo and Johnny Nunez, who are enjoying big frosty coffee drinks right now as we speak, my name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in live to the Inland Sports TV show here at Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16. We'll do it all over again next Tuesday night as we will update the high school baseball and softball playoffs. We'll see you next week.